Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday night, time for another Facebook Live. If you've been following what I've been doing on Facebook this week, I have been showcasing the Wonderfully Wicked bundle. So it's this really cute stamp set. And then the dies. So there's just 2 dies. So the word Wicked and a little spider. So the card we're going to make tonight is this one. And before I get started, I want to be sure and tell you, I'm using the Delicata ink to make this background. That is on back order, every color. It comes in silver, gold, and copper. They are all on back order, all the refills. But the reason I'm going ahead and showing you this now is if this is something you want and they are fun, excuse me, go ahead and order them now. They're still orderable. So if you order them now while they're on back order, then as soon as they come into the warehouse, they'll get sent to you. It's possible that at some point they'll go not orderable, which means you won't even be able to get on the list to get them as soon as they get to the warehouse. And another thing to know is when you, and I didn't do this with mine because I didn't know, I only have silver, but when you order the ink, order the refill too, because you tend to go through this ink faster than you do a normal ink pad. So you want to go ahead and get the refill when you order the ink pad. Now, while you're waiting for this to be available, I'm sorry, I do not remember if I've already shown this one online. So if not, it's a sneak peek. This is embossing paste that I put Smoky Slate ink refill in. So it's a similar look, and you could definitely use the shimmery white embossing paste and put the Smoky Slate in it and get something that looks similar to that. Of course, it has the texture to it, which I'm not sure you can really see on the camera very well. But that's something that can get you through until the Delicata ink comes in. All right, so the other thing I'm using is these masks, and I may have shown you these before. I can't remember, but these are the new masks, and they come. There's 4 of them. There's polka dots. There's trees. Get these other ones out. These look like leaves to me, like little leaves. I'm not sure if that's what they're supposed to be, but that's what they look like. And then the one I'm using tonight is this ornate scroll. I don't know what you would call it, but it's really pretty. So I just have a piece of black, basic black, that is 4 by 5 1/4. Move this out of the way a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in just so I don't get silver all over my background. And then I'm just going to lay this down. And I just held it when I did it. And then you just kind of want to make it. Actually, we'll make it go this way. Just because. So I've got the silver Delicata, and then a sponge dauber. And so all I'm going to do is just hold this in place and then just daub. Hopefully this won't shake the camera too much. And what's fun about this is some of it will end up, you'll notice on my example, some of it will end up darker than the rest of it. So it just depends on how hard you press. If you go back over it. But I like the variation in it so that it's not all exactly the same. And the other nice thing is when I get done with this mask, I just took it to the sink and rinsed it off, and it came off so easily. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing because the chances of me being able to get this set back in the right place if I don't finish it right now is pretty slim. So, but it doesn't take long. I want to do something with the tree one and like the copper when I get it in. I think that would be really pretty for those trees. So I should have ordered them all as soon as they came out, but I didn't. I just got one because I can't order everything day one. So now I have to wait like the rest of you until they come in, but I can't wait to get them. Just playing with this silver one has been a lot of fun. All right, and then you can look and see, are there any places that you want to go back to? I think I might have shifted that a little bit, but that's all right. All right, so now when you pick this up, like magic, you have this really pretty background. Now, this ink will take a little longer to dry. We're going to go ahead and make this card tonight, but if I wasn't doing a video, then I would let that dry. Depending on how much ink you have on it, it may need to dry several hours. When we did in the class that I took with, I think that's what I demoed before, the class I took with Kay, where we just took the ink pad and rubbed it on a embossed image, that we let dry overnight just because it really had a lot of ink on it. But I'm just going to set that aside for the moment. And the other pieces that I have just a little scrap of Whisper White. And I wanted to say, have a wicked Halloween. So the stamps that come in it, whoops, there is a have a, if you can see that kind of. I'll show you on the box. That will be easier. There is a have a, and there's a happy Halloween. Hi, buddy. Thanks for joining me. But I don't want to have a wicked happy Halloween. I just want to have a Halloween. So the trick that I have learned is I put a piece of Scotch tape over happy. So then I will ink this up. And I'm just using Memento. And you can kind of stay towards the top so you're not getting ink all over the whole piece of Scotch tape. But the most important thing is, before you stamp, take your Scotch tape off. Otherwise, you will end up with a blob of black. Let's see. All right, so there's my Halloween. So you have just Halloween. And then the other is have a, and that's all there is there. So I'll just stamp it on the other end. There we go. Now, on the inside, because I did this on a black card base, you have to put something. So I'm going to try something a little different than I did here. I've got just a piece of Whisper White. And I'm going to stamp the spider web in my Delicata ink. I thought, well, that would be kind of fun. Let's see how that works. So we'll see how that works. So I'm just going to ink it up. Move my black for just a minute. And I'm going to put that down here. Ooh, that's pretty. It's shiny. Can you kind of see it? Kind of. It's hard to see on the camera. All right. Oops, not that. Don't do that. All right, let's get my Delicata over here. And then I'll take my spider back with my Memento and put him in the web. Oh, kind of almost got out of the picture there, didn't I? Oh, yeah, I like that. And that's all the stamping there is. This didn't have a lot of stamping. All right, so now we're ready to put this together. For my sentiment, now we can take this out of here. For my sentiment, I just cut it. So I thought it would be kind of fun to have just a little angle right here. And when it's small like this, it's easy enough just to cut with your scissors. And then just straight there. And then the have a, I had it go this way, I believe. All right, these little pieces out of here. Now, the other thing, because you can never have too much shine, and it may be hard to see. Oh, yeah, you can kind of see that little shimmer there. That is the metallic thread, the silver metallic thread. So I just took a roll of it, and it's really thin. You probably won't even be able to, yeah, you can kind of see the shimmer on it. So I just took the roll and I just taped it to the back. So that's what we'll start with. Just tape it on the back. And we'll see if I can do this without it flying across the floor, because that's what it did when I made this card before. And then I'm just going to wrap it around the card. There it goes, trying to go off the floor. I don't know, 3 or 4 times. Try not to pull it too tight because you don't want it to make the card kind of bow up. And then I just taped it. And then I went back and trimmed it because then I didn't have to try and hold on to that end before I taped it. So now you just have some fun shimmer. And I forgot to bring my liquid glue, so let's see if I can just make this work. Because I'm just going to put the Wicked right over that. Ooh, try not to tear it. So I'm just taking a little snail and put on it, which is not the best thing for this, but it's what I have here. So I'm going to put this right here, kind of above that, because I wanted that that thread, that metallic thread, to be kind of like the spider web. And you can move it around after you've got it on there if you want to separate some. Move it down a little bit. See if I can separate those a little bit. And then I want my little spider. And I need my Halloween. So again, I'll just use some snail. So I'm going to put my Halloween here. And then I might have done my spider with glue dots, not glue dots, dimensionals, but I didn't bring those over. So he's just going to go flat. And then my have a just goes up here. And so there's the front of it. Now all we have to do, here I'll put the inside in first with our silver spider web. So that goes on the inside. Oh, we can see that kind of shimmer. And then the outside. And that just goes right on there. And you can see how some of it has more of the Delicata on it than the rest. But I like the variation there. So there's the one we made tonight, and there's the one that I made earlier. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for some more Wicked cards the rest of the week, and I will see you next week. Thanks. Bye.